Let me tell you a story. We're all prisoners in a cave. We can't move. Our limbs are strapped, even our heads are fixed. There's light from a fire casting shadows on the wall in front of us, and sound is bouncing and echoing off the wall. And this is the only reality we've ever known. It's as if we're looking at a kind of screen, and we think it is the world. Then, unexpectedly, one of us breaks free and stumbles out of the cave into the sunlight. He's totally disorientated and dazzled by this experience. He doesn't know what he's seeing at all. It takes him a long time to learn to see things as they really are. To understand that he'd previously lived all his life in a state of illusion.
Now, that's a curious story. It was first told about 24 centuries ago in Athens. It's one of the founding texts of Western culture. It's the story of how someone travelled from illusion to reality. He somehow discovered the real truth of things. And it's by Plato.
Whether we like it or not, this ancient story is part of all of us. It's part of the way we think.
The modern world is Plato's legacy in the sense that without his concentration on mathematics as the path to reality, we wouldn't have had modern science, and therefore we wouldn't have had modern technology.
Composer Malcolm Williamson is master of the Queen's music and is currently writing a ballet based on Plato's famous analogy of the cave.
Plato is as relevant today as, at least as relevant today as when it was written. And I can render it, I believe, in musico-balletic terms in a way that I couldn't rewrite it, I couldn't put it down as drama with a spoken word.
For Plato, we live in a cave of shadows. Since, as prisoners in the cave, we've known nothing else, we believe these shadows to be reality.
Look, you're the reality. There's the firelight, and this is just a shadow. You must be doing the same as what she's doing. Do you realize that? That's right, yes, good. But you're reflecting from over there. Do you see Edwin and his girlfriend there? You're an engaged couple, but you're just the shadows. And prisoners, will you look at these as if they are real things? I know they're only the shadows of the puppets cast by the firelight, but you think that this is all that life is. This is the only world you know. You've never seen these puppets behind you. And now comes the terrible shock when one of you decides to break loose and see if there really is another reality. This perfectly ordinary man, one of many prisoners, first of all thinks that the shadows are reality, an ultimate reality. Then he moves up to seeing that the puppets are real and the shadows are only from the puppets. Then he sees the fire that causes that. And then he goes into the upper world and he sees in the pool this beautiful, beautiful image, which is the moon. And he thinks, at last I've found the ultimate reality. But then his experience with water shows him that it's a reflection, yet another illusion, and he moves from that to looking at the moon itself, which he thinks is the ultimate. Plato seems to be saying that there is an ideal world, an ideal good, which is symbolized by the sun. We are living in this world of illusions where we think the illusory is real. behind the unreal, the illusory, the shadow, there is something more real, and behind that there is something more real.
So for Plato, behind every appearance, behind every shadow, was an ideal form. And these forms were arranged in a hierarchy. The forms of simple objects like tables and chairs were at the bottom, while abstract forms like beauty and justice were close to the top. The highest form was the good. For Plato, we live in a world of illusion and must strive to reach a higher, purer, more perfect world.